Hey guys, Level Cap here and welcome to another episode of This Week in Gaming. Crytek, the well-known developers of the Crysis franchise and the CryEngine, have filed court documents alleging Cloud Imperium Games have violated their contract. Cloud Imperium Games, aka CIG, are the devs behind the crowdfunded space MMO Star Citizen, currently in development. When work began on the title, the developers licensed CryEngine 3 from Crytek with several alleged stipulations. Firstly, CryEngine was to be the only engine used to develop Star Citizen. In 2016, development of Star Citizen was moved to Amazon's Lumberyard engine, which itself is a branch off of the CryEngine. Crytek alleges that not only did the developers violate the stipulation, but CIG have also infringed on their copyrights by removing the CryEngine logo from the game's boot screens. Crytek claims they only licensed the engine for use on a single title and that Squadron 42, the single-player standalone game being developed alongside the multiplayer MMO portion of Star Citizen, is a second game. Crytek also alleges that Star Citizen is running CryEngine 3 code as evidenced by videos uploaded by the Star Citizen official YouTube channel in a series called Bug Smashers. In these videos, devs walk through a bug they encountered in Star Citizen and how they fixed it. Crytek says the lines of CryEngine 3 code are clearly visible in these videos. Finally, CIG agreed to share key bug fixes and modifications of CryEngine with Crytek, but failed to do so. In the end, Crytek wants compensation for direct damages, indirect damages, and for development on Star Citizen to be ceased unless none of their intellectual property is used for it. If Star Citizen is still running on CryEngine 3 code, porting all of it could be impossible or cause further delays to the game's release. CIG have stated that they will defend themselves from Crytek's allegations and hinted that they will countersue Crytek to recover any cost associated with the defense. What this means for the future of Star Citizen is very unclear. Nobody really knows how legitimate Crytek's allegations are or if Star Citizen has a good defense against them. One thing for sure though is I hate the idea of the money I've put into the game and all the crowdfunded money, $170+ million at this point, may go towards fighting legal battles with Crytek. Only time will tell just how damaging this lawsuit ends up becoming. Also, in other Star Citizen news, there's going to be a big Squadron 42 reveal on the 20th, apparently showing off some new Mark Hamill stuff and other things. This is the single-player element to Star Citizen, which should be releasing before the Persistent Universe, hopefully next year, but we'll really have to wait and see. The console version of PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds has finally been released. Unfortunately, it looks like players on both the Xbox One and more powerful Xbox One X can expect sub-30 frames per second gameplay in just about all but the most calm moments of gameplay. The performance issues are especially disappointing considering Microsoft's own dedicated team of engineers are working with Bluehole on the port to deliver the best possible experience. In more positive news, PUBG is getting closer to its 1.0 release on PC. The latest patch for the game's test server added a replay system that records your 20 most recent games with full playback and camera control when reviewing them. The only notable limitation is that recording is restricted to a 1-kilometer radius around the player, meaning you can't see what happened in a match outside of that radius. As for gameplay, the desert map Miramar's first blue zone has been shrunken down to focus the starting gameplay a bit. The Winchester 94 can now equip bullet loops, has a red tip on its iron sights, and gets an increased zoom level when holding your breath while ADSing. The Winchester 94's lever action animation has also been replaced by one that's about 30% faster, making it a much quicker to fire weapon. Erangel, the game's original map, has also been added back into the map rotation on the test server. The rainy and foggy weather effects have been removed from it for now. It's likely Bluehole will be tweaking these effects to polish and balance them more so that people don't back out of those game modes. Bluehole originally intended for the map selection to be totally random, but player feedback has made them reconsider the situation. They'll be testing the map selection feature in one region after 1.0's launch. Finally, separate keybinds for hipfire and ADS have been added to the game that lets players set each action to either toggle or hold on separate keys. Bluehole expects the PC release version of 1.0 to happen on December 20th. As we lead up to any major Battlefield game title, the leaks start to become kinda crazy and out of hand. There's already been multiple leaks about what the next Battlefield game could be. None of them have been confirmed, but there is some evidence to suggest that some of them may be more accurate than others. One of the more popular leaks right now suggests that DICE Sweden is working on a World War II themed Battlefield game, and that DICE LA is working on a Battlefield Bad Company 3 themed game. This leaker also seems to have a chip on his shoulder that YouTubers might know what the next game is and that we're pretending that we don't. I assure you that I have no clue what the next Battlefield game is, despite my trying to find out. Speaking of Battlefield 1, the Turning Tides Naval DLC has released. Well, part 1 of it anyways. It includes 6 new primary weapons, 2 new maps, and a bit more. At the moment, I gotta say one of the 2 maps is actually really fun to play, and the 6 new guns, although not highly competitive, do carve out their own interesting niche in the game. Sadly, the DLC did not bring the much anticipated weapons balance patch, but that one should be coming in the very next Battlefield patch. The indie World War II first-person shooter Battalion 1944 has been delayed to sometime in 2018. It was initially set to release via Steam Early Access this year. The developers are launching a reveal trailer on January 9th, followed by regular updates regarding progress of the game. The price of the game has also been reduced from $20 to $15. The Year 3 pass for Rainbow Six Siege is now available for purchase. Players that purchase the pass will get access to the 8 new operators a week before players without the pass. It also includes a bunch of cosmetic items, 600 R6 credits, boosts your renown game by 5%, gives you a 0.3 better chance of getting an alpha pack, and discounts everything in the store by 10%. Year 2's season of content concluded with the release of Operation White Noise. Year 3's first content release will be Operation Chimera. It will launch with 2 new operators, new weapons, and new cosmetic items. It won't, however, include a new map like most previous operations have. Instead, it will add a game mode called Outbreak. Outbreak is a co-op mode that may include zombies and take place in or near New Mexico. The most recent patch for Rainbow Six Siege launched one of the most anticipated improvements for Operation Health, which is 60Hz servers on all platforms. Prior to this patch, 60Hz servers had been available for testing on the game's technical test server. The retail version of the game originally launched with 30Hz servers that were later improved to run at around 50Hz. Bumping the performance up to 60Hz from 50 won't be the same night and day difference as it was from 30 to 50Hz, but it's still a general improvement. Overkill Software, the developers of the co-op heist shooter franchise Payday, have released a new trailer for their upcoming game set in The Walking Dead's universe. It introduces one of the game's characters, Aiden. He will be one of the 4 playable characters. The trailer shows Washington, D.C. before and after the zombie outbreak, with Aiden going from your average business attire working stiff to a spiked bat-wielding zombie killer. Visually, the trailer is pretty impressive, but there's no indication of how closely it resembles the actual game. It's scheduled to release next fall. Hideo Kojima's upcoming game, Death Stranding, is shaping up to be a very interesting title. The game's latest trailer debuted during the Game Awards. In it, Norman Reedus and 2 other people are attacked by an invisible monster. Obviously, there's a lot more going on in the trailer, like infants inside of glass jars and somehow inside of Norman Reedus' body. It is without question one of the craziest and most trippy game trailers I've ever seen. Definitely worth a watch. Insurgency Storm has some new gameplay footage released this week showing the game's unique and realistic weapon reloading mechanics. Dropping a magazine with a round still in the chamber will allow you to fire off that round before having to reload. Quick reloading will drop the magazine along with any ammo still in it. Full reloading will save whatever ammo is left in the magazine. Reload progress will be saved when switching weapons or performing other actions, allowing you to resume the reload process from where you left off prior to switching. This is similar to reloading mechanics that are currently available in Battlefield, but they just take it a step further, and it's pretty darn cool. In our final story this week, a new trailer for the upcoming post-apocalyptic shooter Metro Exodus has been released. Exodus is the 3rd game in the critically acclaimed Metro franchise. It will be a more open game with bigger levels and some open-world elements. The new trailer shows off the game's winter season environment. As you'd expect from a Metro game, it looks pretty incredible. Exodus will span all 4 seasons and is set to release sometime next year. Anyway, that wraps it up for today's episode of This Week in Gaming. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know in the comments which you thought was the most interesting bit of news, and I'll see you next time. This is Level Cap, signing off.